When you flip on the switch, you expect electricity to be there. It's so automatic you don't even think about it. But in this part of Texas, it wasn't always that way. It wasn't always a sure thing. In fact, the big utilities thought that the ground where your house, farm, ranch, or business stands today wasn't going to be profitable or worth the trouble to extend electric service. They just flat out refused to put up the poles and wires to get electricity to the place where your house stands today. So some local folks decided they better do something about it. This is their story. And because you get electricity from South Plains Electric Cooperative, it's also your story. If you get electricity from the cooperative, we call you a member rather than a customer. That's because everyone who gets electricity from South Plains Electric, 100% of them, no exceptions, is a member of our cooperative. Your cooperative, the South Plains Electric Cooperative. A cooperative is a private business that is owned by its consumers, and that's why you are called a member. You vote for the men and women who run the business, and you also get a share in the cooperative's economic gains. Instead of buying stock to become a part owner of the business, you invest in South Plains Electric by purchasing electricity. As in any business, sometimes revenues exceed expenses. When this happens in a cooperative, it's called a margin. Margins are then returned to the members as capital credits. Since its beginning 75 years ago, South Plains Electric has returned over $28 million in cash back to the members. You see, the cooperative is not a business to make profit. It's in business to serve its members and our communities. As a cooperative, South Plains Electric is 100% locally owned and controlled. Instead of having the money go to Wall Street or foreign investors, it stays right here in our hometown economy, creating jobs, keeping the lights on, building the future, and keeping the rates as low as possible. There are 12 local directors on the board, each representing a district of our service territory, each one elected by the members. Let's meet them quickly. Tommy Joins from Cotton Center is our board president. He has been farming for over 60 years. R.D. McAllister from Acuff is our vice president. He sold insurance for 32 years and retired from farming after 52 years. Paul Zuber from Petersburg is our secretary-treasurer. He sells crop insurance for a living and also farms. Bobby Ritchie from Wolforth serves as assistant secretary-treasurer. He has been farming since 1960. Danny Stanton from Shallowwater is also a farmer and co-owns Stanton Fertilizer. Marvin Schuff from Lorenzo farms 5,500 acres in partnership with his sons. Bill Bednarz from Slayton attended Texas Tech and has been a farmer for over 50 years. Benny Nixon from Lubbock is a businessman who owns commercial property services and is a Texas Tech graduate. Glenn Jones from Calgary is retired from the Texas Department of Criminal Justice and spends his time ranching. Bob Forbes from Roaring Springs attended Texas Tech and has been farming and ranching for 55 years. Larry Browning from Tell is a graduate of Tarleton State University and a rancher. Ken Harris from Kirkland used to work for Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company and has farmed for 38 years. Board members serve 3-year terms. Any member can run, provided they don't have a conflict of interest and are willing to put in the time, learn the business, and devote themselves to putting the best interest of the membership first. It's a multi-million-dollar business in an industry that's changing very fast to meet America's energy challenges. It's a job that demands time and attention. The board sets the policies, then hires a general manager to run the day-to-day business. Only the 4th general manager in the cooperative's 75-year history was hired June 1, 2012. Dale Ansel has 26 years' experience with South Plains Electric and has always strived to put members first. The other 3 general managers were James Driver, J.C. Roberts, and W.G. Newton. The day-to-day work is done by 144 highly skilled employees. Members give them credit for doing a great job. In fact, they earned a score of 88 in a recent survey of the American Customer Satisfaction Index. That's a whopping 12 points higher than investor-owned utilities scored. Your cooperative's employees not only work for you, they're your friends and neighbors. You see them at school functions, Little League games, and church. They pitch in to make the area a great place to live, from helping the Salvation Army Angel Tree, to coaching Little League, and participating in Relay for Life, and lots more. Too much to list here. We also do our share helping local charities and good causes. We don't do a lot of PR about that. We just do it because we're in business to help the communities we serve and the people in them. For example, we support classroom education by giving Discovery Channel School and Super Energy Saver kits to area science teachers. The materials help teachers build lessons on electricity, electrical safety, and energy efficiency. We sponsor field signs, Booster Club program ads, and sports posters to back school athletic programs. We bring fourth graders to our local offices in May to learn about National Electrical Safety Month. Cooperative employees give lessons on how to use electricity safely. More than 2,000 members allow us to round up their bills to the next even dollar amount. Those pennies, dimes, and nickels add up. We call it Operation Roundup. The money helps teachers with classroom projects. We also use it to offer scholarships to high school seniors, more than 280 of them so far. Every year, we send a group of high school juniors and seniors on an all-expense-paid trip to Washington, D.C. to learn firsthand about our democracy. We've been doing that for 47 years and have sent more than 200 students on this trip of a lifetime. Every member also gets this, our Co-op Connections membership card. It's good for discounts at over 300 local businesses, including prescriptions, dental, vision, and chiropractic care. In fact, we've saved people over $500,000 in prescription costs alone. The poles, wires, substations, utility trucks, computers, offices, and financial assets add up to $294 million. You're part owner of a solid business. The cooperative has 9,000 miles of line, bringing power to more than 48,000 meters, spread out over 6,600 square miles. We have 5 local service offices, making it convenient to do business, including after-hours drop boxes and drive-up windows. South Plains Electric was one of the first cooperatives nationally to install electronic meters that can detect outages and relay the information. They also make billing more accurate and less expensive to manage. Here's our operations center. We use a video wall to monitor the electric system constantly, 24/7. Wireless radio technology allows the operations center to keep our crews in the field up to date instantly so we can respond quickly to storms and outages and move personnel and equipment efficiently when they're doing construction and maintenance. It's a constant challenge to keep the lights on and the power flowing smoothly. Those poles, crossarms, transformers, and wire are outdoors and subject to the forces of Mother Nature, animals, and even hunters with poor aim. Line crews constantly inspect the system to look for damage or potential problems so we can fix little problems before they become big ones. Amazingly enough, all of that stuff we've just shown you costs only 20 cents of every dollar on your electric bill. The other 80 cents goes to buy the electric power itself. 75 years ago, when South Plains Electric was founded because the private power companies refused to serve our area, it was mainly farms and ranches. The landscape has changed since then. Today we serve residential areas, commercial businesses, oil and irrigation needs alike, along with the farms and ranches that, if you'll pardon the expression, first brung us to the dance. As the cooperative grows, we can spread the overhead costs over more meters and take advantage of the economy of scale. In fact, since the year 2000, we have added nearly 9,000 residential lots in 40 different subdivisions. We also serve large national chains like Walmart. In southwest Lubbock, South Plains Electric is continuing to grow, serving new restaurants, hotels, and strip malls. The Childress area is also seeing considerable commercial expansion. This effort to take advantage of the economies of scale and greater cost efficiencies is not a new thing. Back in 1999, South Plains Electric merged with Dickens Electric Cooperative in Spur. That was a good mix. They had farm, ranch, and oil loads, which were a good fit for the existing irrigation, residential, commercial, and cotton gin loads. A year later, we merged again with Gate City Electric Cooperative, bringing in their 13 employees and 1,500 miles of line, Another good mix to build a stronger, more diversified electric cooperative. We've come a long way in these past 75 years, so here's a hats off to the men and women who gathered at a meeting in the auditorium of the Lubbock Junior High School back on March 8th in 1937. It was at that meeting that South Plains Electric Cooperative was born. They decided to form a cooperative to bring electricity to the area and elected 7 members to the board of directors. They and a group of volunteers worked tirelessly, going from door to door to sign up members and pay $5 each. 1,081 farmers and ranchers signed up, and then the first application was submitted to the Rural Electrification Association, or the REA, for a loan to start building the power lines. With limited money available from REA, the cooperative received enough to build the first 108 miles of line to 278 members. They had a tiny office in the basement of the old Lubbock County Courthouse. There were only 2 paid employees. For 75 years, the members of South Plains Electric Cooperative have been building on that foundation, growing and changing to meet the needs of the people who matter the most in an electric cooperative, the members, you. It's a story that testifies to the powerful results that people can create when they join together to solve a problem. It's a story that testifies to our continuing faith in the future of this area and in the people here, the family, friends, and neighbors who are your fellow members of South Plains Electric Cooperative. It's a special thing to be a member of a cooperative. Not so long ago, when we didn't have electricity, life didn't come with many choices. But it's been 75 years now since a single light bulb changed everything. And with every pole we placed, a new road became a new town, changing the way we worked and played and the way we lived. One wire, one switch at a time. As our communities have grown, South Plains Electric Cooperative has always stood by our first mission: to deliver reliable electricity at the lowest possible cost to our members. Because as your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we're still looking out for you. And because we like to illuminate one small fact, that it all started with one single light bulb. Congratulations to each and every one on our 75th anniversary.